November 25, 1892, by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. It is easy to understand you, and there is no need for you to abuse yourself for obscurity of expression. You are a hard drinker, and I have regaled you with sweet lemonade. And you, after giving the lemonade, it's due justly observe that there is no spirit in it. That is just what is lacking in our productions, alcohol, which could intoxicate and subjugate. And you state that very well, why not putting aside Ward No. 6 and myself, let us discuss the matter in general, for that is more interesting. Let me discuss the general causes, if that won't bore you, and let us include the whole age. Tell me honestly who of my contemporaries that is men, between 30 and 45 have given the world one single drop of alcohol, are not Korolenko Nadson. And all the playwrights of today lemonade, have Ryapin's or Shishkin's pictures, turned your head charming, talented. You are enthusiastic, but at the same time, you can't forget that you want to smoke. Science and technical knowledge are passing through a great period now. But for our sort, it is a flabby, stale, and dull time. We are stale and dull ourselves. We can only beget Gutenberg boys. Footnote: an allusion to Grigorovich's well-known story. And the only person who does not see that is Stasov, to whom nature has given a rare faculty for getting drunk on slops. The causes of this are not to be found in our stupidity, our lack of talent, or our insolence as Burin in Imagines, but in a disease which for the artist is worse than syphilis or sexual exhaustion. We lack something that is true, and that means that lift the robe of our muse, and you will find within an empty void. Let me remind you that the writers who we say are for all time or are simply good, and who intoxicate us, have one common and very important characteristic. They are going towards something, and are summoning you towards it too, and you feel not with your mind, but with your whole being that they have some object, just like the ghost of Hamlet's father, who did not come and disturb the imagination for nothing. Some have more immediate objects: abolition of serfdom, the liberation of their country, politics, beauty, or simply vodka, like Denis, Davidov. Others have remote objects: God, life, beyond the grave, the happiness of humanity, and so on. The best of them are realists and paint life as it is, but through every line's being soaked in the consciousness of an object you feel besides life, as it is the life which ought to be, and that captivates you. And we paint life as it is, but beyond that nothing at all. Flog us, and we can do no more. We have neither immediate nor remote aims, and in our soul there is a great empty space. We have no politics, we do not believe in revolution, we have no God, we are not afraid of ghosts, and I personally am not afraid even of death and blindness. One who wants nothing hopes for nothing and fears nothing. Cannot be an artist, whether it is a disease or not. What it is does not matter, but we ought to recognize that our position is worse than a governor's. I don't know how it will be with us in 10 or 20 years. Then circumstances may be different, but meanwhile, it would be rash to expect of us anything of real value, apart from the question whether we have talent or not. We write mechanically, merely obeying the long-established arrangement, in accordance with which some men go into the government service, others into trade. Others write Grigorovich. And you think I am clever? Yes, I am at least so far clever as not to conceal from myself my disease, and not to deceive myself, and not to cover up my own emptiness with other people's rags, such as the ideas of the 60s, and so on. I am not going to throw myself like Garshin over the banisters, but I am not going to flatter myself with hopes of a better future either. I am not to blame for my disease, and it's not for me to cure myself for this disease. It must be supposed has some good purpose hidden from us, and is not sent in vain.